What if the way you handle love, money, conflict, success, and even rest today was decided long before you became an adult? What if many of the struggles you face are not personal failures, but learned responses formed when you were trying to survive, belong, and feel safe as a child? This is a truth few people are taught. Your adult life is often a reflection of beliefs you formed in childhood, and until those beliefs are seen, they quietly run the show. As children, we arrive in the world open, sensitive, and dependent. We do not have the ability to analyze or question what we experience. Instead, we absorb. Every tone of voice, every reaction, every repeated message becomes information about who we are and how the world works. These impressions form beliefs, and beliefs become the lens through which we see life. A belief is not just a thought, it is a conclusion. When a child repeatedly experiences criticism, they may conclude, "I am not good enough." When love feels conditional, the belief becomes, "I must earn love." When emotions are dismissed, the belief may be, "My feelings don't matter." These beliefs are rarely conscious, but they are powerful. Children do not question their environment, they adapt to it. If love feels inconsistent, the child learns to stay alert. If approval feels scarce, the child learns to perform. If safety feels uncertain, the child learns to control. These adaptations are intelligent responses at the time. They help the child cope. But what protects us in childhood can limit us in adulthood. As adults, we often repeat emotional patterns without realizing their origin. We may choose partners who mirror early relationships. We may avoid success because it once brought pressure or rejection. We may struggle with boundaries because saying no once felt dangerous. These are not random behaviors. They are belief-driven responses formed early in life. One of the most common childhood beliefs is the belief of unworthiness. It doesn't always come from overt neglect or abuse. Sometimes it comes from subtle messages, being compared to others, being praised only for achievement, or feeling emotionally unseen. The child internalizes the message that they are not enough as they are. This belief follows them into adulthood, shaping self-esteem, ambition, and relationships. Another powerful belief formed in childhood is the belief about safety. If a child grows up in an unpredictable environment, they may learn that the world is unsafe. As an adult, this can show up as anxiety, hypervigilance, or difficulty relaxing. The nervous system remains on guard long after the threat has passed because the belief was never updated. Beliefs about emotions are also formed early. If a child learns that anger leads to punishment, they may suppress it. If sadness is ignored, they may learn to hide vulnerability. These emotional rules carry into adulthood, limiting emotional expression and intimacy. Healing requires revisiting these rules and asking whether they still serve us. Many adults struggle with perfectionism, not because they love excellence, but because they learned that mistakes were costly. As children, mistakes may have led to shame, withdrawal of affection, or punishment. The belief becomes, "I must not fail." This belief drives exhaustion, fear of risk, and constant self-pressure. Beliefs about money often originate in childhood as well. Growing up with scarcity can create a belief that there is never enough. Growing up with financial conflict can associate money with stress or guilt. These early impressions shape spending habits, earning potential, and financial anxiety later in life. Relationships are deeply influenced by childhood beliefs. A child who learned that love involves sacrifice may tolerate unhealthy dynamics. A child who learned that attention must be earned may chase unavailable partners. Without awareness, we repeat what feels familiar, even when it hurts. The most important thing to understand is that childhood beliefs are not truths, they are interpretations. They were formed with a child's limited understanding of the world. As adults, we have the ability to revisit and update them. Healing begins when awareness replaces unconscious repetition. Many people resist looking at childhood because they fear blame or pain. But understanding does not require blaming caregivers. Most parents act from their own unresolved beliefs. Healing is not about assigning fault, it is about reclaiming choice. When you begin to question your beliefs, you create space. You start noticing patterns. Why certain situations trigger strong reactions. Why some emotions feel unsafe. Why some successes feel uncomfortable. These patterns point directly to the beliefs formed long ago. The body often reveals these beliefs before the mind does. Tension, fatigue, anxiety, or emotional shutdown are signals that an old belief is active. The body remembers what the mind has forgotten. Listening to these signals is part of healing. Inner child work is not about reliving trauma. It is about offering what was missing. It is the practice of responding to yourself now with the care, reassurance, and validation you needed then. This reparenting process gently reshapes beliefs over time. Changing childhood beliefs does not happen through force. It happens through repeated experiences of safety, self-compassion, and truth. Each time you respond differently than you were taught, you weaken the old belief. Self-love plays a central role in this transformation. When you treat yourself with kindness instead of criticism, you send a new message to the nervous system. Over time, the belief shifts from "I am unsafe" to "I can support myself." Healing childhood beliefs also changes how you see others. You become less reactive and more discerning. You stop confusing familiarity with love. You begin choosing from awareness instead of fear. As beliefs shift, life responds. Relationships improve, boundaries strengthen, confidence grows, not as performance, but as self-trust. You stop living from old survival strategies and start living from choice. This process takes patience. These beliefs were formed over years, often reinforced repeatedly, but each moment of awareness loosens their grip. You are not trying to erase the past, you are updating it. Your childhood shaped you, but it does not define you. Those early beliefs were learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. Healing is not about becoming someone new, it is about removing what was never truly you. When you understand how your childhood beliefs shaped your adult life, you gain something powerful: compassion. Compassion for your past, for your patterns, and for your process. And from compassion, real transformation begins. Because the moment you stop living from childhood beliefs is the moment you start living consciously. And that is where healing truly begins.